Action.
Welcome guys to Greatness Productions. If this is your first time seeing a video from this channel, please do us a favor and turn on the post notification button after you've hit the subscribe button, because you're going to be giving you a lot more goodies, a lot more wonderful films filmed by Ghanaians here in Ghana, trying their best to dish out a lot of good films as much as we can. And with your support, we can make this happen. So welcome to our set, and this is typically how we do our things. We have a couple more behind the scenes of the previous films that are right here on the channel. I'm going to link them down in the description below, so if you care to check them out, please do us that favor. So typically, once we get on set, we would have had series of rehearsals before we get there, because most often than not we use one camera to shoot, and we always film on the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro together with either a tripod or a gimbal. So this film is titled Trapped. This, as I said before, we had series of rehearsal so that the actors will be up and running with what they were supposed to do on set, and we didn't have too much time on our hands because we couldn't get on location very early, and that's mostly typical of actors and producers. Yeah, it happens. There are some unforeseen circumstances that can get you to arrive late on set, and that was what was happening. And one major challenge that we faced was with the sun. The sun was setting and was giving us warm tones that we love so much, just that we had a bit of a problem, and that problem was chasing shadows. We always risk having ourselves shown in the shots alongside the actors. So at a point in time, if I don't look at every corner of the frame, I'll catch myself in the shot and I have to film it again. So my shadow was what was giving us that problem. We also had to look out for the boom pole not getting into the shot, because you know, Ghanaians, when they watch films, they are gonna criticize it because yeah, they want to make sure that everything is done right. And that's what keep film producers and directors up on their feet, that they make sure that every ambiguity and every fault is cleared, so that no one will comment about the negatives as much. We all want the positive ones, of course. So we had two main characters for this film, Iraje and Tessie Lawson. They are both remarkable actresses, and we took them through a lot of tuition. After their scripts were memorized, they came for rehearsals, I think twice, yes, and we pushed them way beyond their limits to be able to bring out the emotions, and also to, of course, just like acting is, we recreate human behavior. And so it has to be as accurate that whoever is watching will experience real people and not just people acting. So the location was scouted and picked some days prior to the shoot day, and because personally as a producer and director, I had had an experience on this particular same set shooting music videos, photography and personal content for my other YouTube channel, which is Copy Shots. So that made it very easy for me to navigate around the place, to pick the right spots to shoot, to position my actors, to block them before we filmed. So we familiarized ourselves first of all over the place and got the makeup artists to make up the actresses and got them ready. So the major challenges that we're having was that we were chasing the sun because it was getting dark and the sun was setting, and we needed it as our light source. And so if you watch the film, you probably might have noticed that it got dark real quick. That was because we're chasing against it. But for the most part, it was our shadows were getting caught in the frame that delayed us so much. And so before we could finish this up, we were left with barely 30 minutes to complete it. So we had to resort to the floodlights that turned on over there at the tennis courts to help us out throughout to the end of the film. So we were lucky, we had at least some floodlights there available to light up the scene as well as our subjects for the most part. And we were able to get away with something decent. Then day 2 came. I had to get my friend prepare his room for some shots that were supposed to explain what one character was telling the other in a dialogue. So we got there, and because we were not using natural light, we could spend as much time and we really took our time to get all the shots accurately done. So there was a bed scene, which of course are just a sex scene, that we were quite careful because of where we come from in this part of the world. People don't really fancy these scenes as much because there are a lot of controversies, but we did what we could to, make it look a little bit more real than what we were hoping against. The space was quite small, but we could manage. I had the 18 to 35 mm sitting in front of the camera, so I was able to go wide anytime I needed it, and some of the shots would have looked boring without some foreground introduced. So I used the standing fan to create this wonderful look for the shots, so I didn't appear to be boring, but to be given some bit of texture and character. And that was just about that. We filmed this short film in 2 days, and we were so glad. Of course, the pre-production part, which is the most boring part, took us a bit more time, like a whole week, to prepare for the actors to get their lines on point, as well as the scouting of the locations. Then came to the shoot days, which we hoped that we could have done all this in a day. It would have been possible, but we couldn't plan ahead of time that way, and so we resorted to 2 days. So the second day was for the indoor scenes, which gracefully got captured neatly. And we were really happy when we came back, because the first day was quite hectic, but we were able to salvage something from it. And the second day was also remarkably executed. And when the film was pieced together, it was beautiful. And these are some wonderful comments from you guys. When you watched it, you loved it so much. And so we noticed that most of you are looking forward to receiving the second part. You would love to see it, and so we are working towards that to make it happen. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that and turn on the post notification button so that anytime we upload the next short film, or perhaps the feature film and subsequently some series, you'll be the first to be notified and to see it. Please subscribe, very importantly. Thank you, and we're gonna catch you next time in the next video. Have a wonderful day. See ya.